So this is the Rough Rider Big Daddy Barlow, and this is the knife that made me decide that I needed to have an American-made granddaddy or daddy Barlow. Because after I carried this for like 2 days, I'm like, oh man, I really like that. But this one's obviously made by Rough Rider, which is a brand of Smoky Mountain Knife Works, and these knives are made in China. This one is the ram's horn bone, which isn't actual ram's horn, it's just bone. It's supposed to look like ram's horn, I guess. And it looks pretty cool. The covers on it look pretty cool. You got your Rough Rider stamp on the bolster there, and you got a Rough Rider shield on there too. Kind of wish they wouldn't bother with the shield. As you might be able to see, the pivot pin sticking out a little bit. It did have a little bit of side-to-side blade play, so I did my normal fix for that and hit it with a hammer. Has a half stop. Pull on it's pretty nice. The knife overall feels pretty decent. It feels pretty similar to the Remington Musket 1 Daddy Barlow I have. Of course, this one was a lot cheaper. I got this for $20 on Amazon. I don't know if they're still on Amazon. I know I've seen a couple of them on eBay. Here on the blade, you got like a frosted blade and then ram's horn bone on there. You know, overall the knife looks pretty decent. Of course, this being a Rough Rider, the blade steel is, I think, 440A. Stainless, which isn't going to hold an edge for very long. And I've questioned how long a knife like this, made by Rough Rider, is going to hold together. Because with knives like Case and that Remington Musket 1 Daddy Barlow that I have, I feel like those knives are going to last for a lot longer than a knife like this. Because, you know, these are really budget knives made in China. The heat treats might not be perfect on them, you know, and they might just not hold together as well as like a American-made pocket knife, like the Remington Musket 1 or the, you know, anything made by Case or Great Eastern Cutlery. But unfortunately, most companies, in fact, I don't think there's any American companies making a big Barlow like this. You know, this is 5 inches closed. So I don't think anybody's making any of these days. I wish, even if like Baron Sons would make it, that would be awesome. Because I'd really like to have a new production big Barlow like this. But yeah, I just kind of figured I would show the knife that kind of got me into the whole idea of, you know, these big Barlows. Because I have 3 of them now, and I'm always on eBay looking for more. So, you know, thanks for that, Rough Rider. That's the dangerous thing with Rough Rider. You can try out different like knives for pretty cheap, and then you find out you like a pattern, and you're like, oh, well, I want to have like a nice version of this, or like a, you know, a different version of this made by somebody. Made by a company here in America, and then you're spending like $100 on a knife. So Rough Rider's cool because you can try out patterns to see if you like them. Also kind of dangerous because if you end up liking the pattern, you're probably going to want a better example of that pattern. But anyway, this is the knife that started my interest in the big Barlows, and I just kind of figured I'd do a little video on it. At some point this might get a review. I don't know if I'm going to carry it enough to do a review like anytime soon. Probably not. But at some point I'll probably do a review on it, because I'm sure it will get carried again at some point. But yeah, that's the Rough Rider Big Daddy Barlow in ram's horn bone.